Please note that at the time of this recording, none of these quote-unquote leaks have been verified or confirmed by anyone that is a trusted source, but I'm going to talk about them anyway because it's fun and some of them seem to make sense and some of them would be cool in my opinion. Thanks.
So apparently there has been some information about Kingdom Hearts 4, Missing Link, and other projects that have been going on that we may have or may not have known about that have allegedly gotten linked or leaked. None of this has been confirmed by anyone, at least not anyone that we can actually take as a trusted source. So with that being said, take all of this with a grain of salt. But what we have here is on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, there is an entry or a thread called Kingdom Hearts 2025 to 2027 leak. Now we're gonna go through some of these bullet points and just kind of dissect what we have here, okay? The first bullet point says, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was soft rebooted in August due to its expanded scope, with the target for summer 2025 alongside a PC console version. Okay, cool. Next, monetization, GPS, and AR features will be removed and will instead be a paid title with episodes releasing every couple months between now and 2027. Interesting. Next, Kingdom Hearts Union Key Remake that was previously canceled re-entered development last March as a significantly smaller scale. It and Missing Link are to fill the gaps due to the internal delay of KH5 in February 2023. I don't know if that's a typo. I think that's supposed to say KH4. Kingdom Hearts 4 was soft rebooted last year in February. Okay, so yes. Last February, so February 2023. I think that tells us that this is supposed to say KH4. Kingdom Hearts 4 was soft rebooted last year in February at the behest of Disney, now aiming for a winter 2026, early 27 release window. Some minor stuff. Previously, Union Key and Dark Road were being remade using KH3 as a basis, but was deemed too expensive. Okay. New Direction uses HD Remix. Okay. Missing Link will continue to use KH3 assets as it's smaller in scope than the Union Key remake. Okay. Now, the source of all this was from 4chan. However, when you try to open the 4chan link, it's a 404. The link is not found. But what I was able to find was that, let me see if I can get that archive back up. So when you do 4chan search and you search for this title, Kingdom Hearts 2025 to 2027 link, there is an entry for that in the archive of 4chan. But even from here, you click on it and you get an error. So it does look like that the 4chan thread did exist at one point, but now it no longer does, unfortunately, which I would have loved to have seen the source of this to see if it was like copied and pasted verbatim, word for word, or whatever, like what were some details that we might have missed from this post. But this is what we're working with. There were a few interesting things in here, if true, but from this first bullet point, it says Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was soft rebooted in August due to its expanded scope with a target for summer 2025 alongside a PC and console version. Now, this would actually be great news to me because I have mentioned in the past that I am not a mobile gamer. I just am not. I don't play games on my phone. I don't like the way it feels, especially for games like that where they're very in-depth. A PC version and a console version would actually be very good news for me, and I think that would also broaden, obviously, their market audience or their target audience for this game that is supposed to have some of the most important information for the overarching plot of Kingdom Hearts. And I think that would be a smart move. And that first bullet point kind of coincides with the second one about monetization, GPS, and AR features being removed, because if it's a PC version and a console version, you can't have GPS features or AR features, really. So those two things, like, they make sense with each other. Whether or not it's real, I don't know, but I personally would love to see it. Even the fact that it says it will be instead a paid title with episodes releasing every couple months, I'm okay with that. I'll pay for it. I don't care. If it's a paid title, I would hope that also means that they do away with the needing to have AP to do events or needing to go out and get activity coins to buy AP or things like that. Now, maybe not completely remove the aspect of AP, but making it more so that you're rewarded through the gameplay and through combat and through missions with AP so that you can do other things. I would love that. In my last video, I thoroughly expressed how much I hated the idea of them using AP and activity coins and jewels as a way to get people to go outside so that they can then come back home and do missions and whatever other activities that they had. Also making it difficult to get those things, so much so that you'd rather pay your money. I watched Cynical's video about it, Cynical at the Gamers Joint, his video about it, and from the source that he had, it was pretty apparent that they wanted you to go outside in that last beta that they did. And I think that last beta ended in May or June, and that makes sense after getting all the feedback about that AR GPS thing, that it would have gotten softly rebooted in August, not shortly after that beta. That would make a whole lot of sense. Again, whether it's true or not, who knows? But to be honest, I hope it is true. I hope that they are rethinking this thing. And that was my speculation. Again, I mentioned in my last video, my speculation was that the beta went so terribly and so badly, and the progression system was so negatively received that they have to be doing some rethinking and rebalancing when it comes to how you make progress in the game, because it was dead silent after that beta. Dead silent. And the only reason I can think of for that is that something went wrong and they're fixing a lot of things, and fixing a lot more things than they anticipated. So I hope it's true. I hope we do get something like that. I don't mind waiting till summer 2025 if that's what we're getting. I am on board. I am totally on board. Now, if it's a paid title, I don't want to be paying for loot boxes. Definitely don't want that. So, Square Enix, if you're listening, I don't want to be paying for loot boxes if you're going to make me pay for the title up front. Next one says, Kingdom Hearts Union Key remake that was previously canceled re-entered development last March at a significantly smaller scale. It and Missing Link are to fill gaps due to the internal delay of KH4, I believe, back in February 2023. I don't know if I ever knew about the Kingdom Hearts Union Key remake, but I do know that a lot of people would appreciate this, and a lot of people were calling for something like this, or even if it was like a movie made, kind of like how they did back cover. I would very much appreciate a back cover movie of Union Key. If they're doing a remake for Union Key, and it says that they'd be using the Kingdom Hearts 3 as a basis, I assume that means that they're using their assets. That would be kind of crazy. However, I don't know if I care too much for them spending time doing that, if that means a longer wait for KH4. If that means a longer wait for KH4, then I don't need it, or just do it after KH4. While we're waiting for something else, just do it after KH4 or whatever. I don't know. I mean, that makes sense in terms of order of release, but I don't want the same thing to happen as it did with KH4 or KH3, which was they were working on getting the remakes done, adding extra content with back cover, and then 0.2, and making sure that everyone was caught up with the story by making sure that the story was 100% accessible. because I do believe that them doing that meant less time paying attention to the details of KH3 and making that a game that making that a polished and finished game from the start, because we all know that Kingdom Hearts 3 became a much better game after the Remind DLC. I don't think that's anything that people are disagreeing with. Whether you think KH3, if you think it was a good game or a bad game before, that's up for debate with many people. But I don't think anybody disagrees that it at least became better after the Remind DLC. I think that is a general consensus, and I don't want us to be in a position where KH4 is so divisive because of its lack of polish and because of them needing more time after release to adjust things. I want it to be a polished game from the start. That's just what I want. And if the Union Key and Dark Road remake take away from that, I will not be too happy about that. Not very impressed either. So I would appreciate it, but I hope that it does not take away from KH4's development. Now, the interesting part, or the most interesting part, is the internal delay of KH4 and KH4 being soft rebooted last year in February at the behest of Disney, now aiming for a winter 2026 release or early 2027. I did not expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to come out before 2026 anyway. So I'm not surprised by that release window. However, I did not expect the news of it being soft rebooted last February in 2023, which means that they're anticipating a 4-year development cycle for KH4. That is surprising to me that they could get it done in 4 years, because games just take so long to make now. And KH4 got announced when? Yeah, 2022. Okay, yeah. Right, that was the 20th anniversary. So I guess after 1 year getting rebooted, then that's not bad. I wonder why this keeps happening to Kingdom Hearts recently, where they just keep getting softly rebooted. Unless, like, I'm not a developer or anything, so maybe that happens all the time and I just don't know about it. But like I said, I wasn't expecting it to come out before 2026 anyway. I think anybody who thought that was definitely wearing their clown shoes and was equipped with their clown makeup. I think early 2027, it's probably likely, especially if they started their redevelopment cycle. That's only 4 years, whereas KH3 took 5. And they were like building all the assets from scratch, and now they're on Unreal Engine, and like they're staying with the same engine, so it shouldn't take as long, I suppose. But I will be surprised still if they get it done within 4 years. Let's see, Union Key and Dark Road being remade as a KH3 basis, being deemed too expensive. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think that I feel so low on my camera. Yeah. It was deemed too expensive. That makes sense. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, y'all had y'all chance. But like I said, I'd also be perfectly fine with just a movie. Give me a back cover type movie with Union Key and Dark Road. I'll be fine. Now, this one doesn't make sense to me. Missing Link will continue to use KH3 assets as it's smaller in scope than the Union Key remake. How is that possible? How is it possible that Missing Link is a smaller scope than the Union Key remake? How? I don't get that. I don't understand that. Or was I blocking you this whole time? I'm sorry. I don't understand how this is possible. Maybe the story is shorter, more concise, more condensed, which I would appreciate. I mean, I love Kingdom Hearts lore just as much as the next guy, but I mean, we can all agree, I think, that the Union Key and the Dark Road lore and story was drawn out a lot. Like a lot. As someone who played Union Key or Union Cross, I spent way too much time playing that game without receiving enough content. I think I played through almost 200 missions and did not get anywhere near finishing that game. I'm pretty sure am I remembering that right? How many missions were there in Union Cross? There are 780 quests. So yeah, I played through about 200 of those quests. Didn't get close to finishing it. And that's way too much. Way too much. Like, I could see if I had gotten like halfway through by then, but I wasn't even halfway done. So if it's in smaller scope in terms of like story and like how much time it'll take to get through the whole thing, then I can believe that. Like, if they were planning on doing the whole remake with 780 missions, now I understand. Now I get it. But if that's not what they're talking about, then I don't understand. Because Missing Link clearly is like a bigger project in terms of developing power, graphics, gameplay, combat, all of that. Like AR, GPS, all that. But I don't know. But anyway, that's what we have. The Kingdom Hearts 2025-2027 leak. Is any of this true? I don't know, man. Like, it could be. I don't know. We'll see.